Hello there, everyone. The Andrada here, and welcome back to episode 32 of our Project Architect 2 Let's Play series, where today we are getting ourselves some Archimeat. Yes, we are finishing off our automation of Draconic Evolution. We are tearing ourselves up through there, getting the Awakened Draconium, getting all of our plushies, and getting ourselves our Archimeat, which is now going to allow us to start the beginning of the pack and actually get into the ridiculous EMC generation that we have available to us. You ready for it? Let's get started. Some people say that I never got over my obsession with Phil Collins, but take a look at me now. Wow. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful impression of terrible singing here with your pal, the Andrada, where today we are going to continue working on setting up our auto crafting for our draconic crafting process and everything. Went back and did a little bit of review of the Andrada in the past and remembered exactly how I did this, which is really actually very simple. So let's get into it. So what we have going on here is two modular routers and a pattern provider linked up, okay? Pattern provider is going to be set to lock crafting and in blocking mode, and then we're going to set up our modular routers to do the things that we need them to do. And it shouldn't be terribly too difficult to get this whole setup done. What I currently would like to work on getting is these Wyvern Fusion crafting injectors. So we're going to go ahead and teach the system how to make all of these things. However, before I do that, I need to go ahead and grab one of these guys because these guys have NBT data, and we want that NBT data to be in our craft because I'm going to go ahead and put them into the system. You can see here that it says contents saved. I'm also moving it to the end of the list, so that is the last thing that Applied Energistics is going to push into our modular router there. So with that, this recipe should be a valid recipe now. So we'll talk about what are we going to do with this recipe in a moment. So what's going to happen is if I request this Wyvern Fusion crafting injector and I put this guy back in the system, what's going to happen is all of that stuff is going to end up going inside of this buffer chest. And you can see that the crafting injector went in last, which is what our goal was. What's going to happen is we're going to have a modular router, and that modular router is going to be set to pull from this chest. I do not need to necessarily have a Mark II modular router. I could get away with a Mark I, but I have the Mark II, so, well, we're going to go with it. From there, what I'm going to do is set up two distributor modules, and I'm actually going to turn redstone off on this. Distributor modules are great because they allow you to distribute two different items throughout the world from one module. So we can go ahead and we can say, I want to distribute to all 6 of these using our left one, and then the right one is going to distribute to all of these. However, I kind of sort of need that guy back really quick so I can program them. Once they're programmed the first time, I actually don't need to program them again. They go based off of their coordinates, so I don't have to worry about the fact that I'm going to get rid of this. It'll only push if it can, and it's not going to do extra. Like if I upgrade this to Wyvern, it's not going to freak out and think that, oh, it's not a Wyvern one. No, it's based off of coordinates. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to come into these distributor modules. Is it C? Do I have to put them in? I think I have to put them in. So what's going to happen is the item's going to get pulled out, and then it's going to distribute to each of these fusion crafting injectors. Now, each of these guys is set to single item mode only, right? We only want them to be on single item mode. However, we can also come ahead and come into here, and we can modify this and say, I want to make sure that there is only one. We're going to use a regulator mode or a regulator augment. It will make sure that only one of every item is in each individual slot. So that way, if I forget to change one from stack mode, this should, in theory, cover it. The last thing I want to do is go ahead and grab my Draconium crafter because I don't want this to distribute this at all. I don't want it to touch these. I want it to blacklist these guys. You're not going to handle the output of this because this has to go somewhere special. This is going to get a sender module, and that is going to send to our fusion crafting core. So with that, here, we can then go ahead and whitelist, and we can say, hey, the only thing that I want you to send over to there is this guy. So now, in theory, if I were to kickstart this guy and let him turn on, he should distribute everything to where it needs to be, and we should have a valid craft available to us. The pattern provider is going to be locked because the item has not come back into here. What we need to do next is set up a way to automate the start of this, because I don't want to come in here and click craft. And luckily, the Wyvern, the crafting core, actually emits a redstone signal when it is ready to craft, and it emits a redstone signal of 1. So what we can do is utilize create's lovely redstone links to be able to handle the pulsing, the crafting, because all we have to do is send a redstone signal to this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a draconium core, and I'm going to program this to be draconium core. I'm then going to go ahead and say I need to smackerate this guy to make him the receiver. Oops, wrong kind of smackerate. Put you back and then smackerate. Now he's a receiver, which should have kickstarted this. The comparator is now going to output a signal of 2, but honestly, at this point, it doesn't make a difference. We just needed something to initiate the, initial craft that we have going on. So once this is done, you're going to see this is now a power of 3 because it is currently crafting up the item. It's doing the actual craft mode, not the charging mode. And then you'll see that it's going to come in and it's going to move down to this bottom slot, which is exactly what we wanted it to do. Now, once it's in this bottom slot, we can go ahead into our next modular router, which is going to have a puller. So it's going to set to pull from there. And then it's going to send straight back into our pattern provider. We can go ahead and speed this up. We can pull and we can send, and it will complete the craft just like that. Easy peasy. Yeah, it was actually much easier than I thought. And I don't know. I kind of sort of, I've probably seen somebody do this before. So I can't take credit for this setup and everything, but I can take credit for teaching you guys how to set it up because I did that. I just did that. So anyway, what we can do now is go ahead and craft up more of these. In order to craft these up, we need a total of 8. So I can actually grab 4 of these and get rid of them and then tell it I want 4 more Wyvern, and it'll do 4 more Wyvern because it's on blocking mode. So it'll only ever put in exactly what it needs. It'll kickstart the craft off like it just did here. It's going to charge and do its thing. And then as they finish, we can go ahead and put them in. So that's great. So with those, then we can go ahead and work on getting ourselves to the next tier. In order to do that, though, we're going to want to go ahead and get ourselves Awakened Draconium. So how do we do this? Well, it's going to be the exact same kind of setup now. We're going to go ahead and get Draconium and all of this. This will all come into here. And the Draconium blocks will go into the center. Now, I am going to set this up as a craft. However, honestly, actually, do I even need to do this? Because once I get these, I can go ahead and actually pulverize one into the Awakened Draconium dust, and then that can just be smelted back up into ingots, which can then be put back into block form. So honestly, I don't need a recipe for this. I just need to request the things. So let's grab a Dragon Heart. Let's grab Draconium Core, 6 of you. And Draconium Blocks, it's 4 of you. Give me those. And then I can go ahead and actually do this craft later. Once this guy finishes, which it should be almost done. This should be the last one of these, I think. So we can go ahead and get this craft done, which will get us the Draconium that we need for the Awakened Draconium, which will then allow me to make the Draconic Fusion crafting injector, as well as the Draconic cores. Now, the Draconic cores themselves are fairly easy. These are Wyvern tiers, so we can actually go ahead and teach the system how to do this. But we just need to say the Nether Star is going to be the last thing that gets put in. And honestly, it shouldn't matter since we're going to whitelist everything or blacklist, depending on what it is that we're doing. So it really shouldn't matter too much, but to be safe, we're going to go ahead and do it this way. I need one of these, but none of these guys have the data on them yet, but I can easily make that happen by doing this. And then coming back into here and putting this here. Now that'll get me the Draconic, and that one has the content saved, so I can upgrade to the next tier. Let's grab these wyverns and go ahead and throw them where they need to go. One more. Bam. Make sure all of you are on single item. Again, that regulator upgrade should make sure that nothing uncouth happens there. But just to be safe, yeah. I know I need 2 of these for this, so I'm going to place 2 back. We're going to go ahead and do this, and we're going to request 4 more of these. And then, yeah, we're kind of sort of just chilling, waiting for that to happen. Then I can work on getting the other stuff done. Both of you are going to need to go into this pattern provider, though, for future crafts. I'll put this there and this there. And then once I get to this Draconic core, that's basically all she wrote for our setup here. So I'll come back when this is done doing all its crafting. We can get the Awakened Draconium, and then the Draconic core is right around the bend. All right, all of the injectors are now upgraded to the Wyvern tier, which is great, which means we can go ahead and work on getting ourselves our Draconium. Now, how do we do this again? I don't remember what the recipe was. I think I need a Nether Star, right? Usage is you, and no, I'm sorry, it's the 4 Draconium are going to go into the center. So we can go ahead and do that, and then these guys just need to get split. So you're going to go there, sure, something like this. And then now we should have a valid craft. And it automatically started because, you know, we already had the thing in the system. So that's good. What do you mean network not powered? That's not good. I don't like seeing that pop up. I have no access to my applied energistic system right now. I do not like that, Sam. I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Okay. We have a power bottleneck. I need to work on getting more nitro stuff set up, don't I? Where is all the power going? Okay, let's pop up here and see what's happening. Okay, so you are inputting at 50,000 and you are outputting at 50,000. Why are we having a bottleneck then? We should have more than enough power. You are currently generating 191,000. It does not look like we are using 191,000 at all. Output network, network statistics, 50,000. Yeah, why were we struggling there? MDF. Where is the power for this thing? I never want you to run out again. Now, you're using 27,000, which is a ridiculous amount. You have a priority of 5. I want you to make sure you always have power. Everything else can wait, other than the stasis chamber, but that is what it is. Okay, cool. So with that being said, we now have our Awakened Draconium blocks, which means I can go ahead and pop into the machine room really quick and give these to the pulverizer. Can I get through the door? Thank you. Pulverizer can go ahead and pulverize one of those, which is going to get me the Awakened Draconium dust, which means I now have access to as much Awakened Draconium as I want. Now, granted, it's expensive. I just burnt through like 200 million, but hey, it is what it is. So we can go ahead and teach the system now how to make this and throw it into our smelter, which should be pretty simple to do. Bam, throw it into our furnace. And there we go. Now we have Awakened Draconium ingots available to us. So now I should be able to request myself a Draconic core. However, we're going to have a bottleneck when we get over there because it doesn't know what to do with the Nether Star. So if we pop over to our enchanting room, which is now at the end, we should see our Nether Star stuck in here. No, it put the Nether Star in here because I need to blacklist it. So what we're going to do is we're going to blacklist Nether Star, blacklist Nether Star, and then whitelist Nether Star so that it can go over there. Then if we put this back, it should do the thing. Okay, cool. So then I could request more and not have to worry about it. Now, the only problem that could come from this is if Nether Stars are needed for other crafts as not a catalyst, but as a crafting item, but it doesn't seem to be that case so far. Yeah, no, we look pretty good. The only other thing that we might need to blacklist would be Draconium blocks. Is that used for any crafting recipes? I just see Draconium ingots. Draconium blocks for Draconium chests. I don't think I'm going to make any Draconium chests. Yeah, honestly, we look good. Okay, cool. But now I have my Draconic Core, which will finish off that quest, which means we have now completed everything that we need for... Oh, look, does it fly? That'd be cool. Everything that we need for our Archa something or other, Madudi. Let's go ahead and grab all of our other plushies, because this is what we have been working towards for the past 30 episodes. Now the game can begin. Let's go ahead and grab you, grab you, grab you, and you. Shove them all into the system, and let's grab ourselves some Archimeat. Yes, some lovely meat. Ah, man, it's mechanical crafting. Okay, let's not grab ourselves some Archimeat. Let's hold off on that for a minute, because I got to go get a mechanical crafter set up. So I need mechanical crafters, which are these guys, which are going to require me to get electron tubes, which I should be able to do. I think I taught the system how to make rose quartz. Yeah, polished rose quartz, so it has EMC. So I guess I don't necessarily need that. Do you have EMC too? I might as well just learnify both of you. Good. You can actually get burnt. Rose quartz, we're going to grab a couple stacks of you, throw you in there. And we're just going to teach the system how to make the mechanical crafters, because I don't want to. And we needed 9 of these, and it's 3 per craft, so that's good. So we just need to do 3 crafts. So 9, missing electron tubes. Let's teach the system the electron tubes then. Shouldn't be terribly too hard. Other than the fact that I got to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this thing. So 9 of you should now done. Okay, cool. So with that, let's pop upstairs and to our create area that we have going on over here. And, well, utilize this space to do this crafting. Is it going to be fast? No. Will it work? I for sure hope so. Let's grab a cogwheel. Let's grab, you're going to go there. I'm going to want some gearboxes. Let's just grab, you know, some of those, and then some shafts. And I think I'm stuck in some cobwebs. Okay, so we're going to want to grab... we need power to come out of this guy now. Or do you have power coming out of the bottom of you? I do not believe so. Yeah, you're not a vertical gearbox. You're a regular gearbox. So we can go ahead and do this, which will turn him vertical. That's you, which should now have power. You have power down there. What am I doing? Or rotation. So sorry, not power. So then I'm going to need to grab a gearbox to go here, and then just a shaft to go there, which should allow this thing to start. We're going to go ahead and configure this to point everything into the middle. Now all I got to do is grab all my plushies. Okay, cool. So if I grab all of the plushies... Oh, man, are you kidding? What is this mod? There we go. Except for the rabbit. You know, let's just shove the rabbit into the tablet, because I don't need that. But I need these. Cool. So with these, now we can go ahead and do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. What am I missing? Oh, I feel like I'm missing something. Give me that. Give me that. I'm missing the bee plushie. Yeah, that's the one I'm missing. I also don't know if this is shapeless, so I might need to be... Oh, the bee had 2 million EMC cost too. So the bee and the dragon are the most expensive. Everything else was only 1 million, if I remember correctly. Okay. Go through. Okay, let's find out if this is a shapeless craft or not. I have no idea. It is not. Good. And it's going to go pretty quick, too. Bada bing, bada boom. We have nothing. Okay, maybe it is a shaped craft. All right. Archimeat, you need to be... Wither is going to go bottom left. We have Elder Guardian in the center. We have Evoker to the far. Then we have Dragon, Goat, Warden. Dragon, Goat, Warden. Then Bee, Pig, Axolotl. Bee, Pig, Axolotl. Okay, now do the craft. Give me my meat. I'm quite hungry. There it is, that disgusting looking Archimeat. Yum. But it has EMC, which is beautiful. Ah, thank goodness that has EMC. We never have to make those plushies again. Goodness gracious, get this into my system and feed me a transmutation tablet. How do I do this? I have a lot of work to do. Geez, that just unlocked the beginning. Now I have to actually do the work. So Adventure Bound taken care of. Why didn't I get the quest for this? The Dragon FTB/FTB quests editing mode. I'm getting my quests. There might be something good inside of here. I didn't pick up the Ender Core, apparently. We had it, didn't complete it. Okay, so we picked up all those. We got that, and we got the Archimeat. Okay, let's do this, and then let's see what do we get. So from the Dragon, we got an Energy Condenser. Not too bad. From the Amalgamation, we get an Enchanted Book. Okay, and some experience. From the Archimeat, let's wait for that to pop away. We could get the Transmutation Interface. Cross your fingers, cross your fingers, cross your fingers. Give me the Transmutation. We got a Diamond Sword. All right. That was a bummer. And we got Stasis. Wow. Some great rewards there, y'all. That was totally worth. Anyway, okay. Now, with that being done, we have now completed the Adventure Bound chapter. It didn't do the whole sound effect, which is a little bummer, but that's okay. Now our next major goal is to get into EMC automation. Duplication essentially is what we have is our next goal, where we can start duplicating items into other items. So we need to get into applied energistics, apparently. That gives me an EMC gain of 200 million. So the stuff cost X amount, but I get 200 million out of it. Then I need an Architron, which is what I need to get to my transmutation interface. So that's our goals. Archivo, Architron. Let's go ahead and go what mod are you? You're Chosen's mod. So I am working now towards getting the Archivo and then the Architron. Yes. Yes. I'm pretty sure that is correct. Which shouldn't be terribly too difficult. 10 buckets of source. These turrets, which we now have the essences available. We just need to figure out how to get these things, but that doesn't look terribly too difficult to do. Containment jar, advanced spell prism, like all this stuff looks fairly simple. Then all we have to do is get the Architron. Now we are going to need, we have access to all of this stuff. This is going to be a pain to teach. But we should be able to get these things done too. Just need a lot of EMC. So what I want to do is go ahead and get power. At this point, we should be able to get the last tier of reactor. We should be able to get a nitro reactor going. So I'm going to go ahead and request this. I'm going to request nitro capacitors or teach it. And then nitro crystals is this recipe, which we should be able to just pop into our energizing orb. Now we can make nitro crystals, and then everything else can go into here, and we should be able to get ourselves a reactor. And how many is it? 36 of these that we need. I need blocks of blazing crystal. And this is something I'll work on getting set up in between episodes, is another reactor. And I'll probably, honestly, 2 of them. I'm probably going to upgrade the one that we currently have and replace, grab a new one. Though, actually, now that I think about it, it's going to be a pain because these are going to have EMC and the other ones aren't. So I think it was 36, right? Well, if it's not, we're going to burn through a bunch of stuff. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.